The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind. And he was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man, sawing on a fiddle and playing it hot. And the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what." When he came upon this young man sawing on a fiddle and playing it hot, and the devil jumped on the hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I've got a fiddle of gold against your soul, because I think I'm better than you." Now, when I was a kid, I used to love that song. And every time I heard it pop on the radio, and yes, this dude would sing it loud as he could, even though it is considered a country song, if you can believe it. Sorry, all my rock and rollers, I'm letting you down. It was not my genre of choice, country music, but that song rocked. But this song by Charlie Daniels just had that cool factor and the hook to the song that hooked you in, right? I never really thought too much about the song, just an entertaining song that was about the devil making a wager, a golden fiddle for the soul of a young man, and some awesome fiddle playing in the song, right? Then one day, I'm going through my Bible and I'm reading, and I come across Job 2, 1:10. And it popped into my head. So, I'm going to read this to you if you want to look in your Bible, Job 2, 1:10. "On another day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them to the present himself before him. And the Lord said to Satan, 'Where have you come from?' Satan answered to the Lord, 'From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it.' Then the Lord said to Satan, 'Have you considered my son Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil, and he still maintains his integrity. Though you incite me against him to ruin him without any reason,' skin for skin," Satan replied. "A man will give all he has for his own life. But now stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face." The Lord said to Satan, "Very well, then he is in your hands, but you must spare his life." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and afflicted Job with painful sores, from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. Then Job took a piece of broken pottery and scraped himself with it and set it among the ashes. His wife said to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." He replied, "You were talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" In all this, Job did not sin in what he had said. Now, the circumstances and the goals are different. And this isn't the devil facing off against a mere mortal. This is Satan actually challenging God himself. Like in the song where the devil can't find a rock and fiddle player, Satan can't seem to find anyone on earth who is righteous. Satan put in the work. He logged the travel miles, and he sought out the righteous and found the world to have been found wanting. And he is not afraid to make sure God knows it. God, without hesitation, tells Satan, "Dude, your travels might have not taken you over here. But have you checked out my man Job? over there. My man is amazing. And there is no way he would turn his back on me. Of course I paraphrase, but you guys get my drift. Satan said, again paraphrasing, all I got to do is make this dude hurt in some way. And he will walk away from you. He will run, actually. I bet you it will be easy to make him leave you. Now, I'm not sure, but there might have been a put up or shut up said by God to Satan. As God said, you can do what you want to Job, except for killing my guy. And with that, Satan takes the wager. Again, I'm not sure if there was a handshake involved, but it was on like Donkey Kong. And Satan came out with guns blazing. Listen to what he does to Job. He inflicts upon him all kinds of physical pain and sores from the heels of his feet all the way to the top of his head. So bad, he's got to scrape it off with like bark and whatever he can find. It hurts and itches so bad. He takes away all Job's wealth by killing his servants and destroying all his livestock. He kills all of Job's children in a catastrophic event. And he tempts Job's wife to have him give up and curse God. Actually, she says, kill yourself for this wager. When I say that Satan didn't hold back, you see what I'm saying. Job basically loses everything except one thing, not counting his life. He never loses his reliance on God. Now, let's put Job's shoes on your feet, or his sandals, or whatever they wore back then. Where would you be? When the losses start piling up, nothing is going right, and you see no gold at the end of your personal rainbow. You flunk the class, lose the job, the relationship ends, and they cancel your favorite show. Ah! That's it! I quit! I'm out! Nothing going right, I just give up. Have you been there? I think the better question is, who hasn't been there? In some respect, right? How do you move forward? How do you carry on, my wayward sons and daughters? In our darkest of times, is there a possibility of light? I'm here to tell you, yes. Yes, there is. And this is not from my words, even though I do believe it. We can get our reassurance from God in the Bible in Romans 8:26 through 28. In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. And He who searches our hearts knows the minds of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for God's people in accordance with the will of God. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have called according to His purposes. Job never lost his sight of God. In this passage, I pray you the same. Strength as Job. When you feel the fear of loss, betrayal, or worse, you never lose sight that God has got you always. We see in Psalms 34:18, it says this: "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in the spirit." Job I'm pretty sure, knew what I'm about to tell you. No matter the pains you feel in your life, physical, mental, or spiritual, God has a hold on you. And He refuses. He can't. He won't let go. We will all go through the bad. And for some, it's awful. But God will not forsake you. He will always be with you. Put your faith in that. Job did, and his faithfulness to God got him. Now check this out. His wealth, family, and health, due to the trials after enduring his suffering, God restored Job's fortunes. Job received double the amount of livestock he had before, like 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, etc., etc. He was blessed with 7 more sons and 3 more daughters. Job lived for another 140 years, seeing 4 generations of his family. Who do you think won that bet? Pastor John. Oh, that sounds good, but it ain't that easy. And that is a story that's in the Bible. God won't have something go that bad. He will win in the end. What I say to that? Were you not listening? Job lost it all. The pain he had to feel had to be enormous. But you are right about God winning in the end. He will. But our lives may not turn out like Job's did. But in the end, listen, it will be much better. Our faithfulness will give us the golden streets of heaven. Before I wrap this up, I want to give you guys a little history, okay, of something a civilization did for good reasons, but also for some very nefarious ones too. They did it because of people's faithfulness became a great thing for Jesus. The Romans actually started building roads all throughout the regions. They were first built leading to reach out to places of trade, to make the travel from one port to another port, from a city to another city, easier for the travel back and forth. After a bit of time, the Romans figured out, hey, these roads have another benefit. It made conquering other places easier. The roads helped soldiers, horses, and chariots to travel from Rome to wherever they were going without getting stuck or lost. It made travel easier so that the men were not exhausted from pushing their instruments of war through mud, muck, woods, whatever. And these roads helped Rome to go out and basically conquer the known world. I always wonder what Jesus thought when he walked on those very roads, knowing what the Romans were doing on those very roads. In his time, they were actually roads of fear, roads of pain and loss for so many. But Jesus knew. He knew these very roads would be the instruments to help him spread his love throughout the world. Even though he knew he would have to lose his life for that to happen. And man, did it ever spread. And guys, they didn't have Bibles. It first spread in secret, going door to door. Somebody who memorized what had been said to somebody else. Then by preachers and speakers declaring to thousands. The Roman roads were now the highways to heaven. Hope in the Lord is what gets us to have faith over fear. The Lord over loss. When we have faith, we have everything. And that pesky devil, he may tempt us, deceive us, offer to beat us, offering a golden fiddle. But with God, you will win that battle every time. How do I know this? The story of Job tells me, and the song lets me know as well. The devil bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beaten. And he laid that golden fiddle at the ground at Johnny's feet.